Hi, I'm Mayor Jerry Bennett, City of Palos Hills, and it's great to be back on Channel 4. I'm here to give our residents an update of what's happened probably over the last summer and fall season. As always, the Public Works Department is a core operation of the City of Palos Hills when it comes to our infrastructure, and they've certainly had a busy summer and fall. Many new sewer and water lines have been put in by them, new curbs, drainage improvements. We also had our motor fuel tax program start a little bit late this year. There was a material strike, if you recall, over the summer, and it backed up all kinds of public works projects, not only in the City of Palos Hills, but across the entire state. So that kind of delayed us, but believe it or not, they worked all the way up until about a couple of weeks ago, beginning of December, to finish about 75% of the new street resurfacing. There have been a couple of streets where we completely rehabbed the entire street, curb, sidewalk, and we have about 25% more to go, and they're going to start in early March and finish that up. And then we will continue with a new program starting in June. Again, a major street resurfacing, sidewalk replacement, curb replacement. So we're pretty excited. Over the last few years, we have upped the investment on an annual basis with our motor fuel tax program, close to over $1 million now a year that we are able to put into new improvements on the streets throughout the City of Palos Hills. Another project that was supposed to take place last year, and I've talked about it in the past, and that was the 111th Street and Roberts Road improvement to the entire intersection. The intent here is to put a right-hand turn going westbound on 111th Street to ease up some of the congestion that takes place because of the limited lanes that now exist, especially backing up people trying to go straight through to Stagg High School. Unfortunately, there was a right-of-way problem with the county in procuring that right-of-way, so we are hoping again this March to go out to bid with that project. And included in that project will not only be an improvement to the entire intersection with resurfacing, but we're also going to put gateway monuments on all four of the corners. Hard to explain unless I showed you a picture, but it's going to be a nice entranceway into the City of Palos Hills. So we're very excited about that program, and again, we hope it gets off to bid in March. One other major project that I've talked about probably for the last multiple years, starting almost 12 years ago, and that's the stormwater project involving basically the residents in the 4th Ward from about 82nd Avenue on the west to 78th Avenue on the east, from about 99th Street to Roberts Road. What it'll entail basically is a major storm water project. It'll involve two 60-inch mains that will run off Roberts Road going back east to Lucas Creek, one at about 101st Street and the other one on 103rd Street. It's almost a $10 million project. Certainly it's taken time to plan this, but more importantly, the cooperation that we have in the funding of this, the Metropolitan Water Reclamation District is coming up with about 60% of the funds for that. Cook County Highway Department, because it involves Roberts and 103rd Street, will be coming up with about 20, and then we have to come up with the other 20. And the good news is, part of the reason why we delayed the project was trying to fund that. It's about $3.2 million on our part, our share of that project. And last summer we were able to procure or get a grant from the federal government for $3.2 million to supplement our cost involved in that project. We're still waiting for the feds to pass their annual budget in December. We're hoping that's going to get passed, and that project can possibly be on its way starting late summer, early fall. It'll involve almost 720 homes in that area that I just described. And the reason for doing this is because it's probably the worst area in the city regarding floodplain. Those homes sit in the floodplain. A lot of them have to be required to have flood insurance. And we're hoping with this drainage improvement project that those people will be able to get off. Those homes will be able to get off having to pay flood insurance, which would be savings of hundreds of thousands of dollars that have been spent over the years requiring as a federal requirement for flood insurance. Part of that project will also involve Indian Woods Park. It's our 9-acre park located about 82nd Avenue and about 98th Street. And part of the park will be used as a slight detention area. So we plan on making also an investment in Indian Woods Park, and we hope, we're meeting now with a landscape architect to take a look at how we can revisit that park and redo that park. We're pretty excited about some of the amenities that we can put into that site. And again, that would go along with the stormwater project once that begins. So that's something a little bit more, not long term, but a little bit more shorter term that we see coming to Palos Hills in the future. Also, the county this year, or next summer, is supposed to resurface 103rd Street from 88th Avenue to Roberts Road. That project, again, is supposed to be getting underway in the summer. The other big area of things that have taken place in the city has been through our building department. Again, the city of Palos Hills over the last 3 years has seen a major investment in the city, both residential and commercial construction that's taken place. And certainly one obvious one is on Harlem Avenue between 103rd and 105th. If you haven't been down that way, I'm sure you have. That entire block has been literally completely renovated. 3 of the sites were brand new construction of retail stores. A new beauty salon opened up on the end towards Stony Creek. And the last of the buildings that are going up on Harlem Avenue is a 10,000 square foot medical building. So for those of us who've been around for a long time, that section of Harlem Avenue was quite a disaster. It was underdeveloped. It was some of those buildings, had been there prior to the incorporation of the city. So we are so happy to see that entire block be reconstructed. And the good thing is that the retail sales tax that is coming in off of those new stores. In fact, the city of Palos Hills over the last 2 years, since recovering from COVID, have seen our retail sales tax increase by almost 10%, which is pretty phenomenal for us. We're not that large of a commercial or have that much of a commercial base in town, but what we do have, people are investing in, and it is certainly shown with the rise in the retail sales tax. One other major project that's private project that's going to go on is those of us who remember the Hungman restaurant on 111th Street across from Stack High School. Well, that was purchased by an entrepreneur from Chinatown. He intends to tear that entire building down. He purchased the property behind it, which was the old racquetball property, which the city owned. We went out to bid, and he bought that property. So now he has a huge development that's going to take place, a brand new building in the front with all kinds of additional parking now with the purchase of that property in the back. And believe it or not, he's going to put in a Zen garden. Again, I can't show you pictures of it. I don't have them with me. But if he's going to do what he is proposing in his drawings, it's going to be a beautiful pond with different, as really is a Japanese or Chinese garden. It's really going to be nice, and he's planning on starting on that possibly this summer. So we'll see if that does come through. We've also had close to 30 different new businesses come into town last year. Smaller service businesses, different trades, some retail stores. So we're very excited about the investment going on in the city with new businesses coming in. Again, along with residential, we've still continue to have what's few vacant lots left in Palos being bought up, and some of the older homes in Palos that are being torn down and rebuilt as new homes. So a lot of investment going on with the city, and we're excited about our future. Last year we appointed a new chief of police, Jeff Cuccio, and let me tell you, he's done a great job. He's a young guy. He's invested a lot of time and energy and effort to continue to train our police force professionally, to work with the community and keeping our city safe. Palos Hills still has one of the lowest crime rates in the entire state of Illinois, and our guys do a great job. And may I also mention that besides with the crime that does happen, our detectives also do a great job. They solve crimes in our town at a rate of 85+%. So they put a lot of work and effort into catching the bad guys who do come into town and commit a crime. So we're very, very proud of the men and women in our Palos Hills Police Department, and we will continue to invest in the new technologies that are out there today with equipment and training to give those guys the best tools they can use to be on the street and protecting us 24/7. It's not an easy job, as we all know, with being a police officer, but I think our guys and our city are very proud of what they do. You know, in regards to our park and community resource department, again, they had a great year. A lot of new programs that again, we're not a taxing district, a park district. All that park activity is funded through the general fund. And with that, our department does a great job. The programs they put on, they try to modify those, improve those each year with different ideas, different programs. And again, we continue to have an uptick in people who participate in the projects or different programs that the park department puts on. They're also responsible for the special events that take place in Palos Hills. And over the last year, again, we've increased the number of different special events, whether it's in the park, our parks itself, Bennett Park, or at the resource building. And we continue to try to be innovative and creative and get our citizens involved in these special events. And again, the turnout for these events continue to be sold out if they're a smaller event. And our major events, again, are certainly supported by our residents in attending those types of events. The City of Palos Hills, another great news, is we received a grant for $625,000 to build a new bike and pedestrian walkway along the Cal Sag. It'll run from Southwest Highway to 86th Avenue, and it will go under Southwest Highway, under the road and the train trestle tracks over there, and connect with the Worth Trail, which then connects to the Southwest Heritage Trail. So it's a great opportunity for us to link up with the existing trails that are out there, and we're pretty excited about how that's going to be. In fact, we've already started some preliminary work on the trail, and we hope this summer with that grant money from the county that we can step up and complete the construction of that trail certainly within a year. So we're thankful for the county to have afforded us that opportunity to put in a major project such as that trail. You know, in general, I think I want to thank the residents of Palos Hills for your support over the year and over the years. Palos Hills has become a great community because people get involved. They get involved with maintaining their properties, getting involved in the local schools, which are really probably a main core of why our population increase with the last census jumped almost 1,200 people. Because people like to come to Palos Hills. We have great schools, we have a safe community, and we have great people who live here. Our crime rate is down because we have good people in our town, and they watch out for each other. And that all adds to the quality of life of the city of Palos Hills. And we thank you, for your support. So let me conclude by extending on behalf of the members of the City Council, all the employees of the city of Palos Hills, to all of our residents, a very Merry Christmas, and please have a safe and happy New Year. We look forward to talking to you in the future, and thanks again.